KHOU 11 News at 6 starts now.
Happening right now, all of the eastbound lanes on I-10 near Houston's 5th Ward are closed. TxDOT posted these photos on social media showing what appears to be some debris scattered under the Lockwood Bridge. Right now, all 4 lanes have been closed as crews inspect the bridge. Thanks for joining us on KHOU.com or KHOU 11 Plus. I'm Cheryl Mercedes. Tonight, a domestic violence situation where a man killed 2 of his neighbors, then himself, is our top story. We're told a woman and her 2 teenage children ran from their home to get away from the woman's boyfriend. The boyfriend followed them to a neighbor's home. There was a fight, then the boyfriend apparently shot the 2 brothers inside the home. Investigators say a 3rd brother shot back at the boyfriend. The boyfriend then went back home and turned the gun on himself. The sheriff's office tells us this was not the first time deputies have been called out to this area.
There was a call for service just a few days ago for a family violence call between this male and female. I don't have the details on that, so I'm not sure exactly what happened or how that played out, but we do know that there was a previous call for service here very recently.
The woman and the 2 teens were not hurt. The names of the brothers who were killed and the shooter have not been released. A reminder, help is available if you know anyone in a domestic violence situation. Simply call that number on your screen or text the word START to 88788. An Humble man has been sentenced to life in prison for killing his girlfriend's daughter. The Harris County District Attorney says Van Brisbane was convicted of capital murder for killing 16-year-old Lauren Juma at their home in Humble in 2022. Brisbane is not eligible for parole. All new here at 6, a man is dead after crashing his car into an SUV on Highway 225 in southeast Houston. Police tell us the driver was headed eastbound on the highway last night and hit the SUV, which was stopped in the middle lane. The driver died at the scene. His identity has not yet been released. It is unclear why the car was stopped. Police are investigating. Today, Houston firefighters who gave their lives in the line of duty were honored for their sacrifice. It was part of the annual Houston Firefighters Memorial Ceremony. Today, friends and relatives gathered as 82 members were honored at the Firefighters Memorial Garden in North Houston. A bell tolled as fire officials read aloud each of their names. Today, Vice President Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are back on the campaign trail. Harris spent the morning in Michigan before heading to Atlanta for a rally. Former President Trump held a rally in Pennsylvania. Christian Benavides has more.
Hey, Detroit, are we ready?
Vice President Kamala Harris took the stage in Detroit as in-person early voting kicked off Saturday in the Motor City.
As we spend these next 17 days, we're going to go vote today. We're going to remind people to vote. We're going to register folks to vote.
More than 1 million Michiganders have already voted by mail in the November 5th election.
And we know, look, the race is tight. It's going to be hard work, but we like hard work.
Both Harris and former President Donald Trump raced the rhetoric Friday as they crisscrossed the state.
She's not a smart person. She's not a person that should represent our country.
Donald Trump, one of the biggest losers of manufacturing jobs in American history.
Later, Harris appears in Atlanta. Early voting is also underway in Georgia. Saturday evening, Trump is set to speak in battleground Pennsylvania. Sunday, Trump will rally in Westmoreland County. There, the former president is focusing on about 200,000 voters who could help him win Pennsylvania's crucial 19 electoral votes. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
And a heads up for you, Metro is offering free rides for voters. That includes early voting and on Election Day. All you have to do is hop on a bus, show your driver the voter ID, and you'll get a free round-trip ride. And that includes Metro Rail and Metro Lift. Harris County leaders want you to be ready when early voting kicks off on Monday. The county clerk's office unveiled a billboard campaign called Vote Now, Know How. It encourages people to make a plan for early voting, which runs from October 21st to November 1st. Harris County Clerk Tanisha Hudspeth says she expects more than 70% of all voters in the county to vote early.
Election workers are prepared. There are hundreds of trainings that have been taking place since the month of September to prepare all of our election judges, workers, and individuals who will make sure that this election process works.
Again, early voting begins on Monday, October 21st, and we are also holding a phone bank that day to answer any questions you may have. We'll have experts from the League of Women Voters taking your calls. That starts Monday afternoon at 4. All right, turning things over to the weather now. A reason to smile. Here's a live look at the Houston skyline. And if you're watching this newscast on your phone or your laptop, we encourage you to bring it outside because it is such a beautiful day. We don't want you to miss out.
No.
Cheetah Craft joins us on this Saturday evening. And Cheetah, are these ideal conditions here to stay?
Ideal, and they are going to stay. If anything, this week, we actually start to warm things up. Now, live look outside. This is in Galveston. Look how popular it is. It's very busy on the island. Look at all these cars lining Seawall Boulevard. Take a look at the wave heights as well. Remember that rip current risk? That's in place throughout the upcoming weekend. So keep that in mind, even throughout the day tomorrow. Those wave heights really coming in strong. So over the next couple days, we are going to go from 80s to maybe mid 80s and even upper 80s at that. Live look outside right now, 76 in Galveston, 80 degrees at IAH, 80 degrees in Sugar Land. It is warm. I'm going to zoom in with our neighborhood weather network and notice here closer into spring, temperatures are still into the low 80s. So it's still mild, mildly warm. Upper 70s, a little bit closer into West U. Notice Rice Boulevard at 81, an abundance of sunshine to be expected. Now, your hour by hour forecast, temperatures go from the 80s, 70s, and then overnight, I am expecting 60s. But yeah, those 40s and 50s that we had last week, we are not expecting that even over the next 7 to maybe even 10 days. Take a look, your Sunday forecast, dry, sunny, temperatures in the mid 80s. Similar there for your Monday and Tuesday. Notice mid 80s, overnight lows in the 60s. So it's going to be warm even into next week, very much like today. Our latest drought monitor, notice how it is moderate drought conditions. If we stay this dry, we're going to start to see some severe conditions pop in. Notice just like San Antonio, from severe to even extreme. So keep in mind, with no rain in the forecast, we also have these active burn bans. All of our counties under a burn ban with the exception of Brazoria and Galveston County. Now, two different areas in the tropics that I'm watching. One made landfall in Belize, and then as far as the rain goes, you can see all the rain stays well south of us. So we're not expecting any rain again over the next several days, at least the next 7 to 10 days. And that's all thanks to a big area of high pressure. That's also what's keeping Nadine to our south, and Oscar, which is expected to make landfall in Cuba, potentially as a Cat 1 hurricane, but no threat to the U.S. Pollen-wise, it is still brutal out there. It's the ragweed. We need to shake that, but without any rain, it doesn't look like it's going to change. Today, we saw temperatures in the 80s. Tomorrow, we will see temperatures in the 80s. Notice mid 80s for your Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then really as we get into midweek, that's when not only mid 80s, we actually transition to more mid to upper 80s. So if anything, that warming trend continues. Cheryl, not out of the question, we could hit 90. So
I was just about to say, it's nice to not see a 90 there, even though we're close.
But it's not out of the question. I know.
Yeah.
But sunshine continues.
But it is fall, and we know cooler weather will eventually get here.
We do. That's right.
All right, thanks, Cheetah. That's our time for now. But remember, you can check us out anytime on KHOU.com and KHOU 11 Plus. We are back on TV for KHOU 11 News at 10. See you then.